you're in control of how you show up and what you wear. And I think as an attorney, there's so few things that we have control over, especially as a newer attorney. But when you can control what you're wearing, then you can control the narrative you send. It's just a matter of paying a little bit of extra detail so that you're sending the message that you're professional and to be taken seriously. It's actually a very empowering standpoint.
Welcome to our Happy Rainmakers video series where point one can make a difference. I'm joined today by Estelle Winsett. She is a professional image consultant. Welcome, Estelle.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks very much for being here. You know, we don't think about it that often, but image is very important in the legal profession. We've been talking about it in terms of business development and planning intentionally, but it's also like caring for yourself. So how would you relate having a professional style or taking care of your professional style to self-care?
Well, for me, I like to think of it as self-care because when you get dressed for the day, it's the very first thing you do. And if you are like the majority of women, you stand and look at your closet for 20 minutes trying to figure out what to wear, often very frustrating. And sometimes what ends up happening is you just end up throwing something together that you don't love. And then throughout the rest of the day, you're second guessing your outfit, or maybe you're running late because it took you forever to get dressed. And that's very frustrating. And so when you start the day off like that in a negative way, it can impact the rest of your day and also can impact your performance at work. So I think of it as the first thing you do in the morning, when you like what you look like, what you're wearing, then it sets the tone for the day and can give you that confidence that you're looking for. So I like to think of it that way in terms of how are you setting up your day for success? There's actually a study called Enclothed Cognition. And what that study found is that what you wear impacts the performance. It actually was a measurable result. Some psychologists had studies wear a white coat. They told half the group it was a doctor's coat, and they told the other half it was a painter's coat. And they had them do a series of tasks. And those who thought they were wearing the doctor's coat performed significantly higher than the ones who thought they were wearing a painter's coat. And I found that really fascinating because the psychologists were looking for measurable results and they found it. And I think that's such a strong case because when you feel good in what you're wearing or you feel like you look the part, then when you show up, that's not an issue anymore. And I think for so many women, we worry about things that we have on and it can become a distraction when we are in our jobs. And if we're worrying about that, then we're not 100% on point. And so I think that there's a tie-in to being able to shine and feel really good about yourself and strong in your argument when you feel good about what you have on.
Why should women care about their image and cultivating outfits that they feel good in? What is the end result we're looking for?
The end result is confidence. So the clones are a tool. I like to say that. But the end result is feeling confident in yourself and showing up in a powerful way. I think that so many times women either hide in what they're wearing because they're wearing something that maybe doesn't fit them well. Maybe it's oversized, or they are wearing all black because they are scared to wear color, but yes, they feel like they're invisible. And I think that when you have a wardrobe where you feel like you can shine, then that's why you're going to be performing at the highest level. Because when you are walking into a room, your clothes speak before you do. And if you're walking into a room and you don't look put together or you don't look professional, there could be an assumption that you don't have an attention to detail. If your clothes aren't polished and looking put together, then someone may have the assumption that your work is not well thought out and detail oriented. And so it's the assumptions that people make from the physical characteristics of what you're wearing to your character and your ability to perform that matters.
Well, that sounds like it's something we should all think about a little bit. I hope that everybody who's watching this might take stock for just a moment and maybe reach out to you in case anybody's feeling uncomfortable with their wardrobe or they don't really know what to choose to wear. Do you have any words of advice for someone who is watching this video and has that sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach? Like, ooh, I think that's me.
I think that the important thing to remember here is that you're in control of how you show up and what you wear. And I think as an attorney, there's so few things that we have control over, especially as a newer attorney. But when you can control what you're wearing, then you can control the narrative you send. And so I actually think it's a very empowering thing to know that you can send the message you want to send. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with wearing super expensive clothes, but it's things that are very tailored that fit your body well. I always tell people to buy the best quality of fabric they can afford in their clothing. It's just a matter of paying a little bit of extra detail so that you're sending the message that you're a professional and to be taken seriously. And so I think when you look at it from that lens, it's actually a very empowering standpoint.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for being with us today, Estelle.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.